Hi there, I'm Dr. LaQuita J, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about all things in between being and becoming a pharmacist. How you doing? You all right? Today I want to jump in and talk about something that's very important. I'm talking about the thing that we feel we never have enough time. We never have a thing of. I gave it away, time. It's always something where you have we never have time to do stuff. We got this never ending to-do list. Everything is important, and I don't know how y'all feel, but that is me. I got so many things important to do, and this to-do list keeps getting longer and longer and longer. And it's good to work with a to-do list. However, it can become overwhelming. So today I want to teach you 3 ways to prioritize your tasks when everything feels important. So the first things first is please, if you need to pause this video, take a sheet of paper out so you can get started. You have to write down all the things, do like a mental brain dump. So take a piece of paper or whatever your thing is, and just write down all the things you feel are so important. Write them down. Now, with these tasks, when you write them down, I'll just time yourself for a minute. And you look at those tasks and you ask yourself, is this task due in, and you can create columns. You know me, I like columns and stuff like this. So you just write a list down. Once you get done, create columns. And in those columns, the first column will be daily or days. Second column will be weekly or week. And the third column will be months. And how you do it is you look at your tasks. You write them down and you say, okay, is this task, you put a check mark into the appropriate column where is this task due within a month, due the next day? Is it due and maybe those times where we feel like everything's so important, but can it be done? Does it have to be done today? Can it be done next week? Is it due in a month from now? But it's due. It's in your mind, right? It's in your mind and your head. Let's put it on paper. So you can do that task and categorize them according to their due date. Is it due in a day, a week, months? And it's like a month, and it's like even with the days, like if it due in the next 3 days, 2 days. That's what I'm saying. The days category, week. If it's due the next week or 2, put in a week. But if it's like 3 or more weeks, probably put in a month. So we have time to focus on that. So I'll say 1 to 7, 1 to 5 days, maybe 4 days in that category. The week within the next 2 weeks, and a month, 3 or more weeks when it's due. That is tactic number 1. Second tactic is to write down all your things. Write down all your lists. That's not your list. Write down 10 tasks. Look at your list you wrote down. What are 10 tasks that you need to do? 10 things you need to do. And once you write those 10 things down, it may be a sense of just simply ranking them to the level according to importance. So the level of importance and absolutely due date as well. So it may be the thing of you rank and you list them out. Okay, which task, and you list them out one, like you rank them from 1 to 10, from most important to least important, with number 1 being the highest important one and number 10 being the least important one, and you rank them 1 through 10. And then this allows you to focus on your top 3 tasks. So you know what's always important, and then you keep going down. And I always say, I like to start my day with the top 3 things I need to accomplish each day. So that can be definitely one of those ways you can do it. And it's a tactic that I like to use. It's called Eat That Frog. There's actually a book, and I'll link the book below. It was very beneficial. And Eat That Frog is all about eating their biggest task first, that daunting task, eating the biggest frog first. And the book is literally how it sounds. The book sounds like that, and the task itself is literally how it sounds. You're eating the biggest frog first. You are tackling the most challenging, most time-consuming tasks first, and it's your top priority. So that's what you do. And it's daunting. It's one of those things I implement within my program. I do have a flagship program, 4 days Pass the Naplex, and I implement this because most people come in, most of my clients, I'm sorry, my flagship, I am a Naplex Success Strategist. I help pharmacists. I know I help pharmacists shift their mindset, strategize their plan, and study effectively for the Naplex exam. And one of the key things we do, we eat the biggest fraud first. Our biggest fraud is going to be the topic everybody hates, everybody dislikes, and that topic is infectious diseases. So that's how we eat the biggest fraud first for us. In our program, but it's a really good thing. And because honestly, once you eat that frog, like once you conquer infectious disease, you can truly, like, you feel like, oh, no other disease state is worse. I got it, because you have ate the biggest frog first, and it's such a relief that you have. And no matter what, you can always refer to saying that you can encourage yourself and say, hey, I completed infectious diseases. 2, I did that. That's one of the key things you can tell yourself. So it's always a good thing to do. And our last one is going to be, it's what we call, it's a method called the Eisenhower matrix. And I actually want to break this one down just a little bit. So bear with me, share my screen for one moment. Okay, you know, I gotta bring out the whiteboard sometimes. So with the Eisenhower method, the key thing is you want to organize your tasks. Like, you look at the task list you made. So again, we work from the same list. You can do one way, the first method I taught you, where you can, let's do this. This is the first method where I'm just gonna draw boxes. I think that'll be better for us during this time. So here, the first method. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let's say here. And then, of course, you got the lines and your task. So here could be your task you have to do. And then it goes into, again, days, what to do. Let's see, due dates. Let's put here, due. When is it due? That's the question you ask yourself. And I'm going to select this and say, if it's due in, I really like 3, but we will say 1 to 5 days. 1 to 5 days. It's doing 1 to 5 days. 1 to 2 weeks. 3 or more weeks. And that's how you want to do it. Position it like that. That's the first one. You ask yourself the task. And then the second one, you just take these tasks. Instead of then, you will rank the tasks from 1 to 10, being that 1 will be the most important one, and 2 and 10 will be the least important task to do. But this third technique I want to share was the Eisenhower technique. And with the Eisenhower technique, one of the main things you're going to do is you're going to simply do a quadrant. So let's do a quadrant. Draw a quadrant. So and you look at your tasks. And the tasks that are you're going to put your urgent tasks in this column and your not so urgent tasks in this column. But this particular row, you're going to do important tasks only, and we'll go in this and not important. We'll go in here. So something you'll be, so in this quadrant be your urgent times important here. Urgent, not important. Not urgent, but important. Not urgent, but not important. So let's just say, for instance, I'm just going to use my current to-do list right here. I always have a to-do list pad. So I'm going to use this for example. For example, let's say, okay, one of my urgent tasks is to, yes, here, urgent and important is to complete recording YouTube videos. This is important and urgent. Why is it important and urgent? Because I have to record a video so my team can do their job. But I have to do it because if I'm the hold up, my team doesn't get their job done, right? So that's definitely one. What's also important is it's important but necessarily not urgent, is I need to capture my newsletter analytics. I need to document those. That's a task that needs to be done, in the sense of, no, it's not an urgent, but it's important because I'm switching softwares for my newsletter. Every week I send a newsletter, a PharmD Success newsletter to pharmacists and career, to pharmacists every Tuesday. It's called PharmD Moving Forward newsletter, and it has to be done. So I have to capture my analytics to see like which newsletter did well, and I can't necessarily I have to capture them because I'm switching softwares, and the software ends I think in January, after the third week in January. So it's not necessarily urgent as of right now, but it is important to do. So it's definitely one thing. I think it's like the third week. Don't quote me, but I don't know, but it's that. And it's another urgent task, not so it's important, and this is an urgent task, but not so important, is to document items in my CRM. I know I'm speaking a lot of language. This is like more so my CRM, which is a platform I use. Again, I'm switching software, so it's urgent. It's necessary, not important, because it's due in a couple of months. So I have a couple of months to do it, but it's an urgent kind of task to do. Necessarily not important. And then another one we not urgent, not important, is to simply let me see, what's something that's not urgent but not important. I think everything on my list is important, honestly, but I mean, everything on my list is due within the next it's due the next 5 days. So that's how I do my to-do list. It's always things due the next 5 days, majority of the time, if I write it down. But let's see, something that's not important will be I have no idea. Okay. I would say a book I want to read. I have no idea what's nothing. I'm just like, okay, but anywho, you'll figure it out. Like, it's like on the list, all my things on my list is that all the things on my list I read down, I really do in the next 5 days. So I mean, they're important, but these are examples. So with this saying, when you get the list, and it'll be like urgent, important. So with here, when it comes to things that are urgent, are important, and you realize like, okay, this is these are things that you're going to do. And I'm gonna write my little good handwriting note here. As I be funny. These are the tasks you want to do. You want to do these tasks now because they're most important. They're the most urgent, important thing to do. When it comes to not important, they're important but not urgent. These are the things you want to decide. You want to decide whether you want to. Do you have like decide when you want to do it, schedule time for it, because it's something that needs to be done. So like I said, for me, this is not due until a couple weeks. I at least have 2 weeks a gap before I do this. So I'm more likely going to schedule this in my calendar of like more so the first week of January, because, well, this is more important for me. It'll be something when it comes to not important but urgent. This is something I can delegate. So for me, what I can do, I can delegate this to a team member, because it's not something I need to necessarily do and spend my time with doing, but I can delegate this to someone. So this is more so a thing for me, which is good. And in this section, whatever you put here, if it's not important, it's not urgent, we're just gonna leave it all together. Like, why is this task necessarily needed? Like, for instance, at this current time, I do need to reorganize my space. That's something I could have wrote here. It's not urgent, necessarily not important. My space is clean, but I want to just reorganize some things. But it's necessarily not urgent, not important at this current time. So this is these are 3 ways you can use. And this method here is called the Eisenhower method. And it's been around for quite some time with the Eisenhower decision matrix. And the question would be too, how often you will use these different methods. This one's the Eisenhower matrix. So the three ways I talked about, I will say it's up to you how to use them. My preference is I like to just sometimes do a brain dump and do the list of 10, more than 10 things, and then rank them. That is my go-to, because I like to rank what I like to see what's important. And then that allows me, when it comes to the ranking part, I just follow the list. So I do my top 3. Wherever I rank the top 3, then I go to 4 through 6, sorry. Then I do 7 through 9. 10 just throw up in there too, because it ain't gonna be always top 10, top 3, but it's what I'm saying. This is how I work my way down through that. But you have to figure out which way works best for you. You may like matrix, the Eisenhower matrix one, where you do it every single day. For me, that's not necessarily a thing. I do think I like to use the Eisenhower decision matrix more so in my weekly planning, not necessarily doing my daily planning. Or I would say even it's more like long-term kind of thing. I wouldn't even say weekly. I really like to use it, and most effectively like to use it in my monthly planning, because I get to see. With my weekly planning, that goes again working off my to-do list, like doing my top 10 things to do. Then I know every day what my top 3 things is going to do. I'm gonna work through that. And also too, with the days, I like to incorporate 1 and 2. So when I do that, I also think about 2, when are they doing this? Do the next 3 days, 5 days, and that's when I do my weekly planning. So how I would do it and sum all this up, and how I would effectively use it is I will just write down all the tasks that I have to do, and in those tasks, I make a note when they are due. I'm thinking about like when they're due. Just doing a day, next couple of days, things of this nature. Then I rank them 1 through 5, 1 being the most important, and 1 through 5. Sorry, 1 through 10, 1 being the most important, 10 being the least important, and then I just start knocking away up, doing the top 3 things. Okay, then I don't stop. I just keep going till those top 3 things are completed. Then I start with numbers 4 through 6. Then I start with 7 through 9. Then I do 10. And we're done. More so with the Eisenhower technique, the Eisenhower matrix, I like to do that more so monthly. I think it's more functional for me. But I would love to know your insight with this, which ones you think, and which method you like the most, and which ones you think you will benefit with the most. Because each technique on this list is all about having you achieve the same thing, in which is ensuring you're working on the most important tasks. That's one of the key things each technique brings. So at the end, it doesn't matter which one you use. It's just you just use use the one that works best for you. Like I said, I kind of like the means of using 1 and 2 multiple techniques, and like to use Eisenhower more so for long term. But it just doesn't matter which one it does. Just pick one and just whatever makes sense to you and just feel natural. That's what you do. But if you have any insight on this, I want to know like which one did you found better. Do you want to incorporate multiple methods? Let me know in the comments. And it's always subscribe to our channel. You can find always PharmD and Naplex Success Strategist as well. And I want to know, I want to know. And if you haven't already, please get your copy of the Soar guide. We're soaring in 2024. Like I said, we're not playing this year. We're about to make it happen, okay? But until next time, remember, as always, pharmacists unlimited if you are. Now go be great.